Hello, today we're going to look at how to crop a picture using GIMP. GIMP is like Photoshop. We're going to use it to crop photos to fit our school websites so that you can keep updated photos in that file and be seasonal and have timely projects showcased on your website. And the first thing I'm going to show you is that GIMP has an icon that looks like this. You can go to gimp.org and download this for free. It's open source and it is very comparable to Photoshop. It has all of the powerful tools that Photoshop basically has, but no cost. Once that's downloaded on your machine and you open it up, you're going to find that it takes a while to open the very first time because it's initiating all of the tools and opening it all up, and it takes a while to open that package. The second and third time that you open it, though, it'll be much quicker. I've already opened a few photos here, and to get photos opened up in here, what I did was I went up to File, Open, and then I picked where they were from the desktop and documents, folders, wherever you have them stored, and just opened them up. The next thing that I want to cover with you real quick before we start editing is what types of photos look good. Let me show you a few here. I'm going to open these up. These are photos that you might want to stay away from. And as you look at them, you might be able to tell what's missing from all of these pictures. Probably the most important part of our building. Our building comes to life when they come walking through our door. These don't have students. And so it's nice to show pictures of your building, but they just look kind of drab without students in them. So that's something to think about staying away from. And in fact, all the examples I'm going to use have action photos of students in them, except for one, and that's the selfie, because those are pretty popular right now, and I'll talk about those here in a minute. The first thing you'll notice is this is a pretty good sized photo. Down here you'll see that it's really only being shown at 66.7% of its actual size, and so we can change that if we want to 100%, and you'll see real quickly that now it's not showing up on my palette, and I don't want to make more screen space here, so I'm going to take it back down to that 66.7. And it should work fine, except for the fact that I don't know what size this photo is. To find out, I'm going to go up to Image and then down to Scale Image. The width of this is 1600 pixels, and we want it to be 1200 pixels by 500 pixels for the height. So we've got plenty of working room here. I'm going to take it down in size. What we want to watch out for is making it larger. If the width had been like 900 pixels, if we take it up to 1200, you're going to lose resolution and you get what's called pixelation. I always like to click in this. When I click in it, it automatically makes that proportional. And the reason it does that is because I have this locked. If I click on this, it breaks that lock, as you can see, and then it won't be proportional and you'll get distortion. And I'm going to hit Scale. And there we go. We're still at 66%, but notice it took it down in size a little bit. I'm going to go over here, and this is my crop tool. If I hover over it, it'll tell me. I'm going to click that, and I'm going to try to make this 1200, starting at the edge to the other edge. Ooh, I'm pretty close to 500, 1200 by 500. And the reason I know the size is because I'm looking down by that percent of the photo again in the bottom gray bar, and see where it says rectangle 1200 by 500. As I move this, you can see it'll adjust that, and that's where we want. I'm going to let go of that, and this looks pretty good. I could adjust this by grabbing it. I think right about there, a little bit more of the green as opposed to the asphalt at the bottom looks good to me. If I click in the middle of that, you can also press Enter on your keyboard. It'll go ahead and crop it. At this point, I just go up to File, and I'm going to Export As. Save As saves it as a GIMP project file so that you can get back in and edit it some more, but we just want to be done with it. And I'm going to go up here, and ooh, that's quite the number up there from the camera. I'm going to type in there banner. That's my banner photo for a name. I'm going to save it to my desktop, so I'm going to click Desktop here. I could choose any type of format. I think that JPEG is the most common, and I'm going to leave it as that. That was the default up here, but you could choose others. I'm going to hit export. A window will pop up. Leave everything there as default. Just hit export again, and you'll see down here on my desktop in the bottom corner, I now have my banner picture. Okay, now let's take a look at this action basketball shot. The first thing we are going to do is look at the image size, scale that to 1200. Notice that this is a gymnasium, but it's got students in it, so it looks much better having an action shot of your gym than playing like we talked about earlier. I'm going to change this to 75% down here. Hit return. I am now going to use my crop tool. Crop across here, 1200 by 500. And we could leave it with the basket there, but I'm going to bring the crop down a little bit to where we can see their feet. So we can see that they're up in the air, still have the ball. That might look okay. Let's click and see. I think that'd be a good banner picture for a website. Now let's take a look at a selfie. The first thing you'll notice is this is in portrait orientation as opposed to a landscape orientation. And the problem with that is this. When we go up here to scale image, you'll notice it's at 960. It's not large enough. If we take it up to 1200, we're going to lose resolution and it gets a little bit more blurred. Let's go ahead and crop it. And here's the second problem with this is as I get this to 1200 by 500, you'll notice I can only get part of her face. I can't get her whole face in there. And the dog's face isn't going to work either. So this is not really a good option. What you're going to end up with one or the other. So try to stay away from selfies. The front side camera on a smartphone doesn't take as good of a resolution picture as the backside of a smartphone. Takes a much higher resolution picture. And also if you're using a camera, try to use a camera that will get good enough resolution to get you at least up to 1200 in width for the number of pixels. Thank you. I hope this was beneficial.